Very pleasant evening to one and all. Bruce Haertl along with Shane Dennis. Always a sense of urgency when it comes to winning a championship. But Shane, Illinois State probably has a little more of it.
No question. I think Dallas Baptist feels the best about an at-large. In case they don't win tonight, they certainly would like to dogpile in their first Missouri Valley Conference championship. But I don't think it's totally necessary. And because of that, they won't pitch a couple of guys. Illinois State, on the other hand, will do everything it can to win the game tonight.
Let's talk about hitting and pitching, two of the most basic tenets of the game, and both teams have done it well here in Terre Haute.
Well, Illinois State, you wouldn't have known in the last 6 games of the regular season, they didn't hit at all, but they are by far the best hitting team since they've come to Terre Haute, hitting .317, 4 home runs, as you can see, and also Dallas Baptist with 4. These are the 2 best hitting teams, although Dallas Baptist is a little bit feast or famine when it comes to hitting.
The old adage says that good pitching beats good hitting. The problem for Dallas Baptist is they pitched well, but they've done more of it.
On a night not fit for man nor beast, leave it to a couple of groups of hardy young women to get after it in Bedlam. Brought to you tonight by Blue Cross and Blue Shield of Oklahoma, locally operated and customer owned for 75 years and counting. We're here for you in sickness and in health. The senior night here at the ballpark as Oklahoma says goodbye to a couple of players who have been outstanding for them over the years, Devin Barrett and Laura Rayfield. A very pleasant good evening, Bruce Haertl, along with Abby Hodgson, former Oklahoma star who went through this very night just about 1 year ago. Talk about the mix of emotions with Bedlam and senior night on the same evening.
Well, Bedlam's always just an emotional game, and now on top of senior night. So the Sooners are just going to have to focus on being emotionally stable and just play the game that they did the last time they played in Stillwater.
We're all looking for emotional stability, by the way. No question about that. One of the toughest outs in all of college basketball. Charles Koch Arena at Wichita State, where 10,500 is standard, and so are wins. A pleasant good evening all. Bruce Haertl, along with Bob Hall. Over the last 5+ seasons, Wichita State has won better than 91% of its starts in this building. But tonight, Bob, they're just looking for 40 good minutes.
Yeah, they're 4-0 in the league, but they really haven't put together 40 minutes of consistent defense and rebounding. The last 15 minutes against Bradley was pretty good basketball, and then the last 20 minutes against Loyola on Sunday, the Shockers just blew the Ramblers out of the gym.
We may be halfway through the season, but we're just getting going with the Missouri Valley Conference. 2 teams at the top still unscathed. UNI just a half game back with the win last night in Peoria. 4-team midsection at 2-2, and then the lower third straining to move upwards, amongst them Southern Illinois, Bob, the youngest, the shortest, and the most offensively challenged team in all the Valley.
Yeah, Barry Hinson's got a really young ball club. They've got 2 freshmen, 2 sophomores starting. He thinks they have a lot of good shooters, but they haven't been shooting the basketball. Let's hope they get it going tonight.
A steep learning curve in Carbondale. Our Star Watch for Wichita State, you don't have to go very far. It's right at the point. Fred Van Vliet has been playing like an All-American of late. On a blustery but cool evening with the wind blowing across the faces of the players in Norman, it's the Big 12 home opener for the 6th-ranked Oklahoma Sooners, playing the first of 3 on this Easter weekend with the Cyclones of Iowa State. Very pleasant good evening, one and all. Bruce Haertl along with former Oklahoma great DJ Sanchez as the Cyclones and the Sooners get after it tonight. Oklahoma has won 5 in a row overall. They have won all 10 of their games here at home, and in Lauren Chamberlain, with this big home run numbers that she has put up in her career, she's chasing history maybe this weekend.
Absolutely. It's going to be exciting to see her get closer and maybe even set that record this weekend here at home.
Just 3 home runs away from tying the all-time record in college softball history, and also history being made earlier this week in the professional draft. 4 Valley series have already come and gone for the Shockers. Before this, their first meeting with Indiana State. That comes tonight as 2 of the Valley's top 3 meet here in the sold-out Roundhouse. A very pleasant good evening all. Bruce Haertl along with
Bob Hull. The Shockers ready for a battle against a team that probably in the rest of the Missouri Valley Conference most closely approximates the size, if maybe not quite the skill level of the Northern Iowa.
Yeah, they got some big guys. They can go 6'9", 6'10", 6'8", 230, 240 pounds. Their big guys can bang inside, but they're even better outside, facing up, shooting the outside shot, Bruce.
Time for our Star Watch, and for Wichita State, it doesn't go any further than the back of court. Coming off a 43-point win in which Fred VanVleet registered the first triple-double in 42 years of Shocker hoops.
Yeah, 10 points, 10 rebounds, 11 assists. He just did everything against Missouri State. He's the floor general for Greg Marshall's team, and he's getting his shooting down 43% from three in Valley play.
For Indiana State, Brenton Scott has designs on Valley Freshman of the Year.
Yeah, he's a redshirt freshman, so he was around last year practicing. A good player for Greg Lansing. He averages 14 a game against everybody except UNI. And this kid shoots 51% from three in Valley play, so you got to be up on him.
Greg Lansing in his 5th year at Indiana State, 91 wins, 3rd most in the Valley during that stretch behind Wichita State and Northern Iowa. His Pizza Hut starting lineup. On a day with soaring blue skies and temperatures to match, the Oklahoma Sooners stand on the brink of Big 12 history as they look to become the first program to win 3 straight conference titles. A pleasant good afternoon, just afternoon in fact. Bruce Haertl along with DJ Sanchez. And DJ, there's a lot to be said about a sense of timing. The Sooners have won 9 straight, 24 of their last 26, and one of the big reasons is just the excellence of Kelsey Stevens in the circle.
Yeah, Kelsey Stevens has gotten better every single outing, and we're seeing her. She has been absolutely dominant this weekend, and I wouldn't be surprised if we don't see a little bit more of her today.
Shelby Pendley getting the start, but we expect to see Kelsey sometime before the day is up. The Holden Center, inhospitable home of the Indiana State Sycamores, which has won 7 of 8 against Valley teams here this season, and has the added emotion of senior night fueling them this evening against the visitors from Wichita State. Pleasant good evening all. Bruce Haertl along with Shane Dennis. It's the beginning of a huge week potentially for Wichita State as they hunt their 3rd Missouri Valley Conference championship in 4 years. But before we get to that breathless winner-take-all test on Saturday with UNI that so many are looking forward to, there's a pretty serious test right here tonight.
You know, and it's not exactly like this is David versus Goliath. You know, Indiana State's an upper-tier team. They're a sharp-shooting team, which we'll get into during the course of the telecast. They can really shoot it. They've got 2 individual dynamic players and a pretty bulky front line. So there's plenty for Wichita State to have on its plate tonight before we get to that de facto championship game on Saturday.
We talk about the test for Wichita State. About an hour later, another very serious test is going to be going on in Cedar Falls, Iowa.
Yeah, another look-ahead type game, and the shoes on the other foot for Northern Iowa before they get to Saturday and the nuttiness that'll surround Charles Koch Arena. They've got a dangerous team and a similar team, I think, in Evansville. 2 really capable scorers. Ballantyne's one of the best scorers in the league when he gets off. And so Northern Iowa will have their hands full. So really 2 tests for the top 2 teams in the league tonight.
In fact, Northern Iowa's won 15 straight after losing their Valley opener to Evansville, the only team that's beat them.